It's all great to get a win. Anytime you can get a win, it's good to have it. And then, to be able to get, you know, being a new coach and getting 3 wins in a row is always good, especially, coming off of, having starting the season off with winning 1 and then losing 3. So that's always good to have winning around the program. Virginia Lynchburg, you got to give them credit. Team came, had some kick returns. One good kick return, but in the second half, our guys, went at halftime, talked it over, and came back out and shut them out and did what they supposed to do. I mean, I felt like we went up 20-0, and the guys should have stayed focused. That happens a lot of times, especially when you got homecoming going on and stuff. So, I'm very proud of them. But now we're getting ready for Suny Maritime, getting ready to go up to New York and play them now. Questions?
Is there anything you did differently in the second half?
Oh, I just told them to play. I just told them that it's time for us to play. Just like they started out 20-0, they just, I told them, when you playing teams like that, it's kind of like, when you're fighting against somebody that's fighting wild, you got to back up. And, if you start fighting wild with them, a punch can hit any kind of way. And we did that in the second quarter. But when we went out at halftime, I told them, let's back up and regain your composure. And then that's what they did, and that's what I was proud of.
What's your early look on Suny? Tell you what are you seeing now?
Just well-coached D3 football team, probably going to make the playoffs. A team we got to be careful with. Just they well-coached on all 3 phases of the game: offensive, defense, and special teams. But if we just got to make sure we take care of our business. That's all.
Do you feel like your offense has been developing week to week?
I like what he had. I think that we're starting to get the ball to the receivers. I mean, some of the things that amaze me looking back on it is that, Delmont and are getting close to a lot of records that I didn't. Just like I think we go back to the Monmouth game, he had like 300 and some yards, 331. And I think he, even in that game, he had 371 or something like that, and ran for 77 yards. I mean, man, I can't say enough about, what Will Robertson is doing. I mean, they run for, 157 yards against Presbyterian, then come back and run for, 165 against, Virginia Lynchburg. We talking about a guy that was, basically 5th on the depth chart. Going into the season, he gets so deep you didn't even know he'll get to play. So, I like what he had. I think the O-line is improving. They got better. I think that, I wish I could get some of those games back that we played early. But you get that with a new coach and a new system and a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator. We got a whole new coaching staff. So you get that. I feel like we're starting to gel. I didn't say a lot about it, but I know you guys have noticed. I mean, Ronald Bell ain't played in the last 2 games. Ronald Bell was, of course, one of our leading receivers. Shy McKenzie haven't played. I mean, we got, I didn't want to announce it, but I'm announcing today, Tank, Tank is going to be redshirted. That's why you don't see, we're not playing a lot of guys. When the NCAA passed that new rule out, that you can play 4 games and still get redshirted. Anybody that's on this team that's a junior, senior, or sophomore, that haven't played but 4 games, I'm going to redshirt them. So right now, we're redshirting probably about 11 guys. That's why you're not seeing a lot of guys right now.
You said Bell, he got hurt, what, 2 games ago? Yeah,
in Presbyterian, and he got hurt on the second play. Yeah, on the opening kickoff.
So he did not play last week?
No, Bell didn't play. He came off of one play.
He returned opening kickoff.
Yeah. Well, he tried it out. What I'm saying is, when I say he didn't, basically you come out there on one play and off the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Scott, what's his? He was injured or?
No. We just gonna redshirt him. He played in 4 games, and with the new NCAA rule, when he came here, they never redshirted him. So we're gonna take advantage of it. So now it gives him 2 years to play. Well, he's a junior now. He can redo his. He'll redo it. He'll be a redshirt junior, and then he got a senior year. So now instead of getting 1 year, I can get 2 years out of him, and he have 2 years to play in the Big South.
Can you tell me some of the others who are?
Well, I don't want to go until we get all the paperwork done, but I will at the next press conference, you know. And I tell you right now, Will Easton, the other running back, but I want to get the whole list together and make sure we file the paperwork first. But those are that's 3 of the guys that we know.
Well, Devin Anderson has only played 4 games. He hadn't played lately. So.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this now. You know, with Devin Anderson stuff, he's a graduate kid. Yeah, he's a graduate guy.
Yeah.
This also gives you a chance to get some younger guys some time on the field if you're going to.
Exactly, and we're redshirting pretty much the whole freshman class. Probably 3 of them won't be redshirted, but we're redshirting. I would say out of the 16 guys, at least 13 of them. So all together, when it's said and done, including the freshman class, along with the guys in the program, we're looking at possibly 20 individuals being redshirted this year.
If I remember, like when the rule first came, you were a little apprehensive about it, but I guess you've kind of come around on it.
Yeah, because I didn't understand it completely, because I thought they were just referring to freshmen. And then as we got into it, I started saying, okay, so you can be a senior. If you haven't redshirted at all, you can take advantage of it. I didn't know they was talking about every class, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Then I was like, okay, here we are now at the end of our schedule. It fit perfect. You know, now it looks like, you know, I mean, it was perfect for us now, because now I can, you know, once again, what you just said, we can play some of these guys 4 games, these, you know, the freshmen.
Back to the Lynchburg game for a moment. One of the reasons why they had that big second quarter, they hit for a bunch of big plays. After examining the game, is there anything that you were able to put your finger on as to why they hit for so many long?
No, the same thing. I mean, you look at them, Charleston Southern, the kid number 5 ran back a kick return. He done ran back 6 of them. You know, I wasn't surprised. I mean, we shouldn't have kicked to him. You know, and that's the thing about it. Ran back a kick return, and they got break runs. But I mean, you know, I ain't worried about that. I mean, they got beat 51-28. That's all I look at. I'm not concerned about the other stuff, man.
I remember when we were talking in preseason, and we were talking about a lot of your FBS transfers. You were saying, hey, don't forget about Byron Barney. Did you know right away he could be this kind of receiver?
He's savvy. He's savvy, older guy. I knew it. I knew it. Just a matter of getting the ball to him. Just a matter. You know, he ain't had a chance to play with these guys, man. Barney didn't even, you know, he come in here, you know, just think if he had spring ball. Let's be realistic here. I mean, he doesn't, no spring ball with the guys. In the summer, he wasn't here during the summer. So he come right in August. He don't even know them. So, you know, you're talking about how you know, think about it. Bayer been playing them for 3 years. That's what people got to look at. These guys coming as graduates. And I tell some of the fans, too, you know, you talking about these graduate kids come in and met each other. Okay, I meet you in August. Let's start playing football. How much? It's going to take time. So now they starting to jail. You know, where, you know, you're talking about Wesley, Wolford, and Bayer. They've been with these guys for 3 years. You know, so I knew Barney would come on. I had no doubt about that. It's just a matter of him and the quarterback getting on the same page and understanding him. You know, that's like everything. It takes time, and you know, and then starting the show.
I asked you this last week about Lynchburg. You know, kind of a tough team to necessarily know what you're getting, because you don't even have a roster with size on it. But Suny, do you have a pretty good amount of information on that?
You know, more detail. Yeah, we do. If we just can't, you know, we just can't go up there and beat ourselves. Right. We just can't go up there and beat ourselves. That's all. You know, it's a different deal. But see, what people don't realize though, with Virginia Lynchburg, you can get anybody. You know, you don't. It's NIA. It's no grade requirements. It's nothing. You got that kid from Miami. I remember the kid came out. He had all from Oregon and different schools, BCS schools, number 5. You know, so I wasn't surprised. I had a couple of kids on that team that couldn't get in school nowhere else. So now you can just go to school there. You got to look at the roster. That's what, you know. So I knew we'd get. You know, you're going to get, like I told the players at halftime, you're going to get a couple of shots. I said, just relax. You know, I knew we could, you know, we'll take care of business. But you go look at it, and I was telling everybody, I'm not surprised, because if you look at the Fort Valley game, they beat Fort Valley. and the same guy ran back a 98 yards. You see little things where they pop up at Charleston Southern. Go look at Charleston Southern, what the score was. Charleston Southern, it was 23 to like 14 going into the third quarter. So I kind of knew they would do little small things, so it didn't surprise me. You got to look at all the games they done played in, and that. So I'm not shocked, but it's, but I knew once we got settled in. I think that the thing about it though is that I learned a lot too about homecoming here, because even though me playing here, being a player is different, but coming here for homecoming, you gotta, these guys, man, they, when you playing a team like Virginia Lynchburg, and these guys read they read the newspaper, they know what's being said. They had just lost 6-3, I think, to what was it, 0 to Carson Newman or something, and everything. So then you got to get them back up. So I knew halftime that we had to regroup and everything, because when they jumped out 20-0, I said, uh-oh, I could see it. They were thinking about the other guys playing. So it was good. It was good. But what I was more proud of was in the second half for us to come out like that and then shut them out and then come out with 51 points. I'll take it anytime. And plus in the third quarter, we started slowing it down and stuff. So and because the coaches they do a good job, man. They trying to build a program. They trying to do they trying to do the right things at Virginia Lynchburg. I'm humbled that they played us. Basically, especially going through what we went through. Trying to get a schedule. I think that that's what people don't understand about this whole thing is that we were thrown right into this thing. With this schedule thing. It ain't like who we had to pick who we could play. Let's don't forget a lot of schools wouldn't play us, and that's what we need to keep in mind. And that had nothing to do with these players. We just playing the schedule we've been given.
Not a lot of options.
Not a lot. Well, you know that better than anybody. Yeah. We got schools right across the track. We got schools up and down the road. They didn't play us.
Is this a flight, or do you bus?
Oh, we busing.
Busing,
yeah.
Leaving what?
Tomorrow. We leave. I'm sorry, Friday morning. Friday morning.
At the same time, it's kind of a cool place to be going.
Yeah, man, I love it. Because the thing about, I told the players, it's humbling to me. You got to understand that, and so that gives me a chance, and then it brings us closer together. Here go a guy that we play a team 3 hours away at Cincinnati. We fly. Texas Tech, we fly everywhere, everywhere. We didn't bus, and then you go to, now for the last, 8-10 years, I've been flying. I've never been on, a bus as far as, especially, much less talking about going over 3 hours, so, and now we're talking about going 7-8 hours. I think it's good. I thank the Lord for it, because it humbles me. It lets me appreciate football, and most of all, it helps me appreciate the players, being able to ride. And then, and it's always great to go to New York City, man. It's always something, you're always going to see something, if it's just the bridges or if it's just, having a chance to, at the hotels, people talking. There's always something going on in New York, I don't know. It's always been like that ever since, we, spending my time growing up, having up out with the family or visiting relatives and friends. It's good. It's great. And some of our guys have never been to New York on the team. So it's a good trip for us. And it's always good to bond. Them long, get you a good book and read and let the bus driver drive.
Is playing a game in New York opening up for any extra recruiting opportunities while you're up there?
Well, anytime you go into another state or area that's not in the Tidewater area, in the name, the Hampton brand gets out there, it's automatic going to help you. So, yeah, I think definitely so. I love to get some of those big tight ends out of New Jersey. I would love to.